is Prumsodun. I was born and raised in Long Beach, California. I began my training in Cambodian classical dance with Soplin Jim Shapiro when I was 16. And after 2 years, I left to study experimental film in San Francisco. But dance has always been a part of my life. And now I currently live in Los Angeles, and I teach filmmaking for the YMCA of Greater Long Beach, curate for the Combined Arts Academy, which was founded by Soplin Jim Shapiro and her husband John Shapiro. And I'm a videographer for the Cambodian Community History and Archiving Project. What interests me about performing diaspora is, oftentimes when people see works of art, whether it be painting, sculpture, or dance, they, from different parts of the world, they automatically assume that it's impenetrable because it's coming out of a different culture, because it has a different aesthetic. And for me, I believe that all art practice, all art making stems from the same place, and that is to this need to transcend the mundane, to transcend the illusion of daily life and struggle to find the divine, and to find a connection on a very divine and non-material level. And even though this idea is something that's thousands of years old, I feel like it still has contemporary relevance. And so for me, what's exciting about this program is to be given the opportunity to experiment with these idioms, Cambodian classical dance, Indonesian classical dance, Mexican folkloric dance, and find a different way to grab the same thing. Definitely the function of the dance is nothing new. For me, I feel like all art should inspire health and well-being and transcendence in its witnesses, in its viewers, and in its practitioner. So that's not anything new for me, but what is new is I had originally planned to just set it to Cambodian classical music, which is called Bintiet, and dance in a very traditional aesthetic. But as of late, I've been encountering lots of issues being a male practitioner of roles that are performed by women around gender, and so for me, I'm starting to realize more and more that I'm kind of a one-man theater right now, and so for me, I'm pushing that element even further. So I'm a filmmaker, I'm a writer, I'm a dancer. I'm going to combine all of these things to serve the gods in a very personal way, and serve humanity in a very personal way. And so the sound is not set to Cambodian classical music. I'm combining video with the work, and even the dance movements themselves are being bent and pushed and broken and pulled. I want to give members of the audience, give people a chance to go on a journey that they can't go on driving in their car or on a plane or on a ship, to really, sure, there's the politics of, me and my life as a dancer and as a person, but for me, my ultimate goal is to have people to inspire a spiritual awakening and vitality in the people. I think people who say that, oh, you can't dance Kathak because you're white, or oh, you can't dance Cambodian classical dance because you're a man. I think that's a very shallow way of looking at things. I come from a culture in which form is illusion, and race is a form, and sex is a form, and oftentimes the people who say these things are not the carriers of the tradition. So, for example, here in America, where the politics of race are so prevalent, you oftentimes, and I'm going to speak from a Cambodian American experience, oftentimes the kids who grow up around me, they say, oh yes, we're Cambodian, Uncle Wat Cambodian classical dance, and that's all they celebrate, but they don't know anything about it, they don't know the richness of these places, of these traditions, and for them, a lot of the times it's used to decorate, who they are, their clothes, and so it's this superficial appreciation and understanding of quote unquote who they are. And for me, being someone trained here in America, being someone who is very much so a practitioner of the diaspora, as far as Cambodian classical dance goes, I feel like my heart, Cambodian classical dance speaks to my heart just as much, and probably even more so, because I've trained in Cambodia, than the Cambodians there. I don't think that people should be bound by race or nationhood or class, because when you're in search of the divine, those things don't have any relevance or significance. Training in Cambodian classical dance, there's a very clear hierarchy of I'm the teacher, you're the student, and so it's been hard for me to kind of navigate making Cambodian classical dance, creating new works in Cambodian classical dance because of that. Because I understand that I come from this lineage, from this tradition, but at the same time I have this desire to push it in the directions that I see fit. As far as making new works in Cambodian classical dance, I really draw upon my filmmaking tradition of perhaps, just like a film, just like a filmmaker does, I can bend light and bend time when I am dancing. What if the white on my body paint acted, served the same purpose as a film screen where, it is supposed to reflect what's ever put upon it. And so the Cambodian classical dance costumes, they're highly ornate and elaborate and stylized, but it's more than just pretty or beautiful, it's a manifestation of order and health and well-being. And so, I need to radiate that out to the audience. And so it's been really different trying to make new works in Cambodian classical dance because of that. And, also lots of dreams. Dreams have been very, very important in my creative process. I love Cambodian classical dance. For so many reasons. I think, given its really troubled history of, nearly being lost during the 70s, that it needs so much support from the inside out in order for it to survive and have a very strong cultural relevance and prominence. I'm drawn to Cambodian classical dance in a way that I can't quite articulate. I can articulate the things about it, but what draws me to it, I really can't, articulate, because, since I was 4, I was imitating dance movements already, and so, a lot of the dancers say I have nisai, which is kind of, it literally means support, and, but, it's kind of like a fated truth, or if you're Buddhist about it, you would say it's you would have a karmic affinity to something. It's something that you've been developing throughout your past lives, and so I love it in that way, that in a very unconscious way, I guess.